All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to the stream. Today we're going to be looking at this beautiful Diamond 62. And I'll go through just a pretty quick, oh my goodness. Go through a pretty quick little walk around and show you a little bit about this airplane. Very beautiful airplane indeed. One of my favorites. Really nice flying airplane. Just overall really nice. Really nice aircraft. So, don't have too much detail, and I should for someone that likes this airplane, but I do know these are not turboprop engines, but diesel. If I'm not mistaken, these are essentially diesel engines that Diamond puts on these, and I believe these are made by Mercedes. They're the Astra. I can fact check myself there. Yeah, the Astro engine, the E4 that goes on the DA-62, and they're both 180 horsepower each. That seems interesting. And the diesel part. Oh. Oh. I guess Google didn't like the way I phrased that. Okay, so yes, it is a diesel engine. So it is the Astro E4 engine. It's a liquid cooled inline 4-cylinder 4-stroke diesel engine. So that's one of the unique quirks about this airplane, and what that diesel engine does for this airplane, and to my knowledge, is it's pretty efficient there in the realm of cooling. I mean, not cooling, efficiency, sorry. So you know, diesel engines burn a bit more efficiently than gasoline, and so that's one of the main selling points for these. Is there diesel reliability there baked in? I don't know, but they seem to have been selling pretty well. There's a lot of campaign. I know recently too, Diamond actually started a tour, not for this aircraft, but they started a tour for the DA-50 retractable gear, so the single engine retractable gear. Pretty much the same fuselage as this airplane, just with the single engine mounted to the front. I'm assuming that's touching into the TBM Mooney M500 market, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Mooney 500 or Piper? Jeez. A little bit of brain fog today, trying to remember about these airplanes, but all in all, this is a super fun airplane to fly. Definitely unique sounding. Once again, too, really smooth airplane. Does have de-icing capabilities, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But all in all, a really fun airplane. So let's get up and take it for a ride. So what's nice, and this is a Aerobask aircraft. What's nice about this is this little control panel here. So just going from left to right, top to bottom, we can fill in our passengers. So by default, there's a pilot there with the default pilot weight, and all of these weights are default. You can't customize these besides fuel. So it's already compensating for a pilot, and right there we have the co-pilot tick, so it's simulating weight in that chair. In the DA-62, let's go this way. You can see we have seats for 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here in the back, but in this panel here we just have adult left and right for this configuration here. And then of course back seats are actually really small in figurative real life, so generally this would be just extra storage space, or like it says here, just children. Of course we have overhead lamps right there, overhead lamps here as well, and they do work. We have no power on for now. This is our, what is that, auxiliary power switch, as well as air conditioning fan. That's also nice. And chart storage, nice compass up here, and the regular dash. So we'll just go ahead and just call it just a co-pilot flight. No luggage, we're gonna stay in pounds. Fuel, I'm trying to remember because this airplane is pretty unique. It will burn the way the fuel is set up. If I remember correctly, it will burn fuel, or it should burn fuel from the let's see, am I correct? Technically it doesn't. I think I'm trying to remember, goodness, if it burns fuel from its auxiliary tanks first or not. We're just gonna say it doesn't, but we'll keep those full, and fuel wise we'll go about 50%, so about 177 pounds here. So good. Reflection options, breakers, you can simulate the breakers. Keep those as normal. And we can say we did a pre-flight, walked around the airplane, checked out the cabin. Let's go ahead and close this door. All right. Let's crack this window. Crack that window for you guys. It's pretty hot here in Florida. And make sure our parking brake is set. Yep, parking brake is set. And we can check that by applying that, and we can put that back on. Cool, so let's get rid of the ground hardware. Everything else there is good. All of our weights, anti-ice and oxygens are all fine. And yes, this is also an airplane that you can take above 12,000 feet and stay there consistently. It has an oxygen system, so you would just apply the regular oxygen mask and everything will be good from there. Right, so right. Oh, and Avitab integration, of course, for us X-plane lovers. Click. Where is that click spot? Oh, here it is. Yep. So cool. Okay. This is my fuel pump, my starter. And fuel pump. Okay, that's my and meter. Pitot heat. So 1, 2, electrical master, pump settings. I'm just following through on my switch panel. This is the first time I'm flying this airplane in a few months, and I did have everything mapped. So my okay, so that's going to be this switch here. That's going to be my max de-ice, my windshield de-ice, my oxygen switch is there, ECU left and right, and my starter switch. Same here, starter switch, ECU left and right, gear fire test. I think That's these two switches here. Which is surprising. I think I might have to fix that in my joystick. Not here, but my trim wheel. Pitch trim up, down, and up. So that is set. Alright, so maybe it's electronic trim, so we should be good from there. So without further ado, let's try this again. And let's switch on our electrical master. Alright. And that noise there is good. Oil temps, that's fine. Pressure looks normal. Fuel temp, fuel quantity right above 50%. And let's look at our electrical. Just gonna make sure that I don't need to. So what I can do is switch on my avionics switch and see my battery system. See my battery volts. So 24 volts there. So we should be good there to start. So all I'm going to do is move these up. And throttles are at idle. Parking brake is on. Everything looks good. So what I'm going to do is switch on my master switch. And we'll go ahead and start the left engine. Goodness. Let's try that again. Well, I'll be. Never had that happen before. Switch out that fuel pump. Let's go. That is correct. I might have been correct on that one. Try this one last time. Switch that off. That is interesting. Just take a look at my avionics power really quick. So that's super weird. Oil pressure and temperature looks good. That is super weird. And let's go ahead and start the right hand engine. I'm going to start with this engine master on, and it should pick right up. Yep, pressure, temperature. Man, I can only imagine what what is really going on there. Like, there aren't any other warnings necessarily. Hit that on. almost as if it, yeah, that's working. Goodness. Okay. Yeah, these are on. Why does my motor sound like it wants to die? And it could just be me, honestly. Yeah, we shouldn't have to worry about these transfer pumps right now. I'm just curious about that now. I really don't think, I mean, if I switch my generators, it should account for something, right? 24.5 volts for getting power, but for some reason my motor's just curious. Let's try this. Let's see. Okay, so we just can't go completely idle then. That's new for me. I don't know. I didn't see if there's an update for this thing. I haven't checked in a while. But that's new. Alright, so with all that being said, let's check the weather out here, see if anything's changed. Okay, SPG. Yeah, gotta hang in there because this is interesting. 350 is taking off runway 36 over there. It is nice and windy today, so I'm gonna have fun doing some crosswind landings, some slips. That'll be cool. Actually, no, not too bad. Only 10 degrees off, so just about a straight headwind. So maybe just forward slipping into something. Who knows? Just for the fun of it. 2993 is gonna be my altimeter. Let's see if this works. Nah, it doesn't work. Radio panel does not work. Alright, so let's set the transponder really quick. 1200 and transponder, let's set that to on. Let's go back. My barometer, let's set that to 2993. Alright, and we should be good there. And that's our DI stuff going on there. No oxygen required here. We can close that off. Yeah, I'm not sure why. I've just never seen that happen before. And I don't think I missed anything, but let's go ahead and set our flaps for takeoff, and let's also go ahead and trim this airplane just a little bit. Let's keep those on. Turn those off. Hit our taxi light. And let's get what's going. So we don't have a beacon. Alright. Let's go. Brakes off. Full left deflection, full right deflection, down, up. Left and right seem to be working fine. that wing out here. So this aircraft actually has longer than typical wing for this class of airplane. I think it's like 40 or 50, I think it's like 50 feet wingspan on this airplane. So definitely something that really makes it a bummer for those considering buying this airplane is hangar space, because you're going to end up buying or paying, you know, renting a hangar for a much larger airplane that theoretically would, you know, be an airplane that would cost you way more than what you would pay for your Diamond. So you end up getting kind of like a hangar for maybe, say, like a light jet in terms of width and size, just to accommodate this piston aircraft. So, well, actually, is it necessarily? It's necessarily? I don't know. I should know, but yeah. And right before we get up here, we'll do our run up. Zoom in here. Load is about 4%. Alright, left and right amps are oddly on. Fuel quantity, fuel flow 1.9, so all the engines are reading fine. When I go to my system, however, well, let's do our run up. So the finals at about 2. That's good to know. Oh goodness, and I almost forgot one thing. Temperature today is 29. Okay, cool. And temperature up here, that's our ISA 29C. There we go. So we're not going to get past, let's see if this works. And it doesn't work. That works though. And I'll just keep this at 90. But our altitude, we're just gonna try and stay at about no greater than 1,800 feet today. Just gonna be flying around in the pattern for the most part. So let's go ahead with our landing lights. Our flaps are set. Man, this thing turns nice. Super nice, actually. Alright, flaps, gear, trim, set. Verify trim. Trim verified. Flaps, gear, lights. Alright, pitot heat is coming on. And for the sake of this short runway, let's just kick on our fuel pumps. Just to be on the safe side. So this is a short runway and there is water just beyond our front, so. Alright, let's go. Set. Rotate. positive rate, gear up, lights off. Now let's go flaps up. Watch that nose come down. There we go. There comes the turbulence. Feet. Let's go ahead and make our turn. We can kind of level out around here. Right at about 50%. I mean, the airplane just flies. It's just a point and shoot kind of airplane, really. Not saying not as involved as the 172 in terms of flying it, but it definitely just, you just nudge it in the right direction and it just goes right where you want it to go. You know, no more, no less. Let's go ahead and trim out here. I mean, it's amazing that it just does that. Smooth flyer. I mean, it's just nice, even with the FADEC controls. So FADEC, what that means here is our prop pitch is automatically controlled by the aircraft's computer. That means I only need these two knobs to keep my plane fuel and prop speed, prop RPM, you know, keep those at the most efficient levels for any throttle setting. So there's only two knobs in other airplanes, there'd be 6. So that's the wonders of FADEC control, is the plane itself takes care of all the mixture and power settings, or at least prop pitch settings. Oh, let's get those fuel pumps off. Should be good there. But yeah, I mean, this airplane is just extremely easy. Really easy. And just overall fun. The maneuvering handles like a dream. Flies amazing. Let's cut back. A little bit of turbulence, but we'll cut back, you know, slow her down, and there's the runway right there. And we'll do a little touch and go. Just kind of give it a little bit of a forward slip, just checking the winds here, testing them out. Gonna need to give her some trim and really get her to slow down here. Let's go about 10% on the load here. And gear extension speed on this airplane is 205. Yeah, so we're good there. Let's keep the airplane level. Get some drag there. Let's get our first notch of flaps. Our second notch of flaps. Let's trim that airplane back down. Alright, let's pick up that glide slope again. Landing lights, fuel pumps, put those back on. Let's give her some more powers, maintain that glide slope here. A little bit low, that's okay. Trying to get a little bit of a side slip so we can maintain that center line. There we go. Oh, need to keep in it, keep it on, keep it on. Get that nose down a little bit. There we go. Alright, cool. Flaps up one notch. Full throttle. Woo! Can we make that? Oh my goodness. Tricky runway to do that on for sure. Go gear up. Pumps are still on. Let's go flaps up. Go ahead and trim for climb. It was pretty soft landing, so this airplane, it's really easy to do a nice soft landing. 500 feet, and we'll take these fuel pumps off. Let's get this landing gear out of landing lights off, and let's get our turn going. Alright, so we can do better next time. Just get here slow, and then we'll make our turn. And just to keep on record, I am flying this in similar configurations, so I'm not using the alpha yoke for this one. I'm using my Thrustmaster joystick and the honeycomb throttle set to keep this as practical as possible. Pretty steep in the turn there, but let out some of that rudder. Here we go. Yeah. You want to talk about comfortable airplane, this is it. This is it. So let's go ahead and put our gear down. Let's get those lights. Let's get our first notch of flaps in. Let's keep that nose down. Get some of that trim in there. Let's just fly it on straight. You know, we got a direct headwind, so let's take advantage of that. Try and maintain about 500 feet per minute. Let's get those fuel pumps on. Now you can already see getting pushed over, so let's get the nose into the wind a little bit and then we'll correct. Yeah, you can see it getting pushed there. It's okay. There we go. Might have corrected a little bit late there, but we'll monitor it all the way through. Let's drop some speed here and let's go last notch of flaps. Can't forget those. Keep that nose pointed right where we want it. A little more power. Maintain this glide. Let's kick it to our right just a little bit. Set it down. Alright, let's keep center line, flaps up. Let's go ahead, take off power set. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Landing taxi light off. Standing by 500. Flaps up. Let's hit the trim a little bit. Alright, fuel pumps coming off. Right turn. 25% there. Let's go ahead and trim this out. This airplane is just really responsive. Right now I'm holding it in a slip. So I got my left aileron, pushing right rudder. I'm just drifting myself. It's pretty fun. I just love slipping, man. You guys gotta forgive me, I just love doing it. It's fun. And for those that haven't seen this before, or just hearing about it, I'll kind of show you what it is. I'll actually slow down here a lot. Myself about 25%, and I will intentionally overshoot this turn to show you how how you would use a slip. And I might have turned too early, but that's okay. This might be a little bit of a drastic example, but I need to get all the way to my right. So I'll bank right and I'll input left rudder. And just over the course of some time, you'll see me slightly drift over to my right. As you can see, I'm doing is a bad example because I'm just so close to the runway, but you understand. Of course, that's more for a little bit of a more fine adjustment, not so much of a drastic adjustment, but you understand what's going on. So we're just gonna fly by right here and then head up. Get that trim going. Now this is hands-free right now. Pitching a little bit. Let's level ourselves out a little bit, but for the most part, hands-free. Plane is comfortable, plane is fine. Climbing a little bit. Might put his nose that under. Ever so slightly. Now for here, let's go gear down. Alright, gears are down. Let's get these lights. Let's go about that much on power. Let's turn. First notch in. Definitely want to trim that nose down. And we'll go for a full stop here. Let's get these fuel pumps going. Alright, that was fun. that was amazing. That was, oh man, I love this airplane so much. Let's go ahead and wheel it in. Yeah, I might have to get this airplane in on the stream more. It's just a dream. It's a joy. Sure. But not bad. Not bad at all. Let's switch off those avionics there. Swing right here. see how well I did there. Oh, so close. Figured I would have been too much on the left, but that's not bad. All right, we look good there. Let's go ahead and set these parking brakes. And let's bring these throttles up to 10%. And what we're doing here is cooling off these turbos before we shut down. That also gives us enough time to go and make sure everything is ready to be set off. As in fuel pumps, pitot heats, that stuff, flaps are up. Everything looks good there. Let's go ahead and turn our transponder off. Then on standby. Yeah. So really good there. I like that. I really love this airplane. I guess it's just some update for the airplane. I mean, normally when I would hit idle, it would idle at about that 2%. It wouldn't really go much there, you know, start sputtering like that. But I guess, I don't know, sim update something. But it seems pretty realistic though. If I'm being honest, it does seem pretty realistic. So that's cool. Now we're just gonna go ahead and bring these back down to an idle, about 2% load there. And yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and switch off our battery blasters. Cool. So what's that? Alternators, let's switch these off. Fuel pumps, fuel shutoffs. We can just switch those, and battery turned off. That's awesome. This is a phenomenal airplane. Definitely something to have, a really nice airplane, general aviation airplane to have in your library. I believe this thing will do on a typical cruise about 180 knots, which is really good. If you get good tailwinds, I think I've gotten this up to 200 and I dare to say 230 knots on a really good day. I could be wrong. It might have been like 220 something, but I want to say you can probably get this going about 230 knots with some nice tailwinds. But yeah, typically about 180, 190 knots cruise is what you're going to see in this airplane. You can get up there. Ceiling, goodness, what is the ceiling for this airplane? Should know a lot more about my airplanes, shouldn't I? Well, 20,000 feet, so you can get into flight levels with this aircraft. From 18,000 to 20,000. That's pretty good for 180 knots. It's really good. You get really efficient. A lot more capability with this airplane. And I say that because you have, and I didn't really talk much about it, even though I said I would, but you do have the anti-ice system, and I'll go through that really quick. So what you have here is a normal cycling rate of your icing depending on the level of buildup here on the leading edge. Now I believe these are actual, oh, this is a weeping system. That's right. So it's not a pneumatic and it's not a heating plate on the leading edge. It's a weeping system, and that's where you get this fluid fill. So right now it's at 100% of them flying. I can check this and see how much I have left, what's remaining, but it's a weeping system, so you can turn that on to normal or high depending on the level of buildup that you're getting, as well as you can hit the max button, and that'll give it, like, I believe I'm not sure how long, but it will give it a temporary boost. Give it a temporary boost of icing fluid. So if you don't want to just leave it on high, you can, or maybe if you do have it on high and you need a little bit more, you can just hit max. But that's always nice to have that there. And same with the windshield. You can press that and get a temporary on for your windshield anti-ice, which is nice. You have an ice light, so lights up right. I think it's on that outer edge, or it might be this. I think it's on this outer edge. You'll see a light, which will allow you to see at night if any ice is building up. And then of course you have pumps 1 and 2, so always good to have a backup, right? So that's the anti-icing system. Of course, you saw me do the ECU test, which is for the most part a run-up test and checks the mags at the same time. You'll see ECU A and B switch on for both left and right engines, so that's just checking the what we would consider magnetos here in the engine. Emergency gear extension, and then alternate air, of course, and that's in this case set. Gosh, alternate air open. Oh my goodness, I don't want to confuse anybody, so I'm going to hold my tongue there onto which air source that is, because you have alternate static, which I'm used to seeing, which would just be a different location on the aircraft that your system will read from the static port to give you your airspeed information. So I'm gonna hold my tongue there, but alternate air source, flaps, pressure is oxygen pressure. It's good to see that there. ELT, you need to touch those, and yeah, these circuit breakers are functional in this airplane. Same with the pedal adjustments. Of course, batteries off, so these aren't going to operate. But overall, just a really, I'll switch that off. Really, and I should stop saying really. It's an extremely beautiful, sophisticated, and elegant aircraft, in my opinion. So, guess without further ado, we'll hop out and just get one last shot here. This beautiful aircraft. I mean, just look at that. You pull up to the ramp, you have everyone's attention. It's just a really good airplane. Let's go ahead and set the chocks there. Let's open that up. Yeah, you have everyone's attention at the ramp with this, for sure. Gonna take up a lot of space, but you can really couldn't stop saying that. You can surely make a nice presence here at the ramp with this thing. Gull wing doors, diesel engines, teardrop shape, T-tail, these rigged wingtips, and it's just awesome. It's an awesome piece of kit. So, without further ado, once again, I'll see you all next time. Thanks for joining the stream.